find, conferences and panels, yet magazine articles where women have even close to gender parity. I mean, we're all talking about
I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, as I said, and the audience obviously agrees, this is a news category. We can pick up a magazine, we can see this, we can go out and see this. I've been a reporter for 15 years. I've tried to, I know I've written more men in business than women in business. We tried every year to get as many women on a panel as possible. What's the awareness problem?
Well, I guess
let's talk about the real problems, but what's the awareness? Like, we live in a weird country doesn't write about women.
I think
You're like, the VCs don't fund women because they're women.
The awareness issue might be saying, okay, if we've got a ratio issue, then recognizing that it's a major benefit to change it. I mean, the tech community is about innovation, and there's no two ways about it that diversity begets innovation.
All right.
I don't think it starts with this panel. I don't think the panel solves anything. So,
You jump in.
well, I just don't think that, diversity, I don't believe in affirmative action. I don't believe in artificially creating panels and putting women on stage unless it's merit-driven.
Right, and I agree. I think it's not so much us getting up here and talking about it. Educating people is great. I don't think anyone here, though, except for that guy apparently, isn't aware of the ratio problem. What I think is important in this panel, especially in the next half hour, is that we talk about what we're doing about it and how we're changing it, rather than talking about the problem, because everyone.
Right. Okay, Michelle, so let's start with you. We were talking backstage. You had some interesting things to say about the view that women, there's a good business case around why tech companies need to hire more women now. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we all learn marketing is data, and if you actually look at the average user, or the average player at Farmville, it's a 43-year-old female. And so you look at the web and you look at the consumers on the web, and they're women. And then you look at the people creating the software, the architects, people who come up with the ideas to accommodate these women, and they're men. I don't necessarily think that's men trying to keep women down. I don't think it's some sort of conspiracy. I think a lot of it is because when you're a girl, when you think of software development, you don't think it's a career. And I think we should change that. I mean, I look at what you're doing in New York, and it's like you got mommy bloggers. Why can't there be mommy coders?
Right.
Why can't we create like on panels with massive numbers, I just think we should address the core issue, which is why are women not creating software?
And I'm just a twin because sorry that so I agree with you that you don't have to have a CS degree to start a company. I don't have one. I feel really ill-equipped, that said, to start a US company. But I think that there's a larger sort of cultural issue, which is that women often want a more balanced life than men do. Carol Barth said this great thing in the Work Code report that was published last year, which was that women want to wake up in the morning, cook breakfast for the kids, do yoga on the way to work, run a company all day, come back, and have a good life. I have to say, I found it to be true of so many women that I've tried to hire that they want more work-life balance. And the reality is, if you want to found a company, work-life balance isn't going to be there for 2 years.
I mean, that's funny. I have lots of dudes who make part-time with their family, and I know lots of women, myself included, who just can't get yoga.
Right.
Okay, to be fair there, how old are you girls?
I'm 37.
And how old are you? Okay. Let's see how you feel in 10 years about work-life balance. I totally agree. When you're 23, you were balls out, you were working all the time, you were, killing yourself. I mean,
I don't think you really know me.
I don't, I just like you on stage. Okay, you're not balls out, you're not working hard. Sorry, I'm compliment.
I love what I do. So much. I wish if I could change my life right now, I'd go back to school and get a computer science degree. And I think there's a way to get more women into tech is to have more women who are computer science people.
Right.
I love what Sarah Chipman's doing.
Okay, the point is we're talking about two different things. We're talking about women in tech, and we're talking about women starting companies, which we're conflating. But those are two totally different things. There are women who are coders, who are in management, who are executives at companies, and they're women like me who write about tech and up until this morning worked at a startup, so you can say I was a woman in tech. But then there are people who are starting companies and women entrepreneurs. And I do agree with you that I think the women in tech issue is not a work-life balance thing. I think what Carol's talking about is being the CEO of a publicly traded company. And I don't think there are lots of different versions of entrepreneurship, but if you're doing the Mark Zuckerberg or Michael Arrington for that matter level of entrepreneurship, you can't have kids.
All right, well, I just don't want people telling me, what little slot I'm supposed to fit into, because I read the Arrington description of what his day is like, and the first thing I noticed was that he gets out of bed and goes to his computer. Mine's on the floor next to my bed and pick it up. That's not healthy. I'm not endorsing that. All I'm saying is that I can compete on the workaholic front. The point is that I think this is so counterproductive. We're trying to say women do this and then the woman do this and 23-year-olds do this and 37-year-olds do this. No.
of women. Any women who reach out to me and want a career in Silicon Valley or a career in media and want to talk to me about this, I think there's absolutely sexism. I've got loads of sexism, but